family? I'm Angel. This is the Vasquez Report. And for the final part of this episode, we're going to delve deeper into just what the General Accountability Institute uncovered and is given to President Trump and Kristi Noem during their meeting in the White House.
This is not just a story about violence and chaos, as you alluded to, Mr. President. This is a money story. And at the Government Accountability Institute, my colleague and I, Peter Schweitzer and our team, we followed the money, and we followed it to the top of what we call the protest industrial complex, Riot Inc.
So there's a whole protest industrial complex, huh? That would explain a lot. It explains how all these operations are coordinated with signs and legal teams and a tactical plan in order to carry out violence against citizens and law enforcement. Let's continue.
And we found a network of NGOs. It's not just the Soros Network, the Open Society Network. It's other funding networks, the Arabella Funding Network, the Tides Funding Network, Neville Roy Singham and his network, Foreign Cash.
So this is where we get down to the nitty gritty. We're starting to name names. George Soros, Neville Roy Singham, and certain company names also. Riot Inc., along with foreign money getting poured into these coordinated riots and Antifa in general. Let's continue.
And it's also big left-wing funders. Some of them are not citizens of this country. Mr. Hans-Jörg Wyss of Switzerland. They're pouring money into this entire ecosystem. And so I want to share 3 money facts with you about what we call Riot Inc. Number one, like any corporation, Riot Inc. has many divisions. It doesn't just have the Antifa boots on the ground division. It has PR divisions. It has marketing divisions. It has a very well-funded legal division to get these boots on the ground back on the streets as quickly as possible. But it does have those investors that I mentioned. Number 2.
So now we're learning that Antifa not only has boots on the ground, but they have their own legal team, their own advertising team, their own public relations team, and they have foreign money and American money pumping in from billionaires and from foreign investors. Let's learn more about what's going on with Antifa.
We have identified dozens of radical organizations, not just the decentralized Antifa organizations, but dozens of radical organizations that have received more than $100 million from the Riot Inc. investors. These would be the lawyer groups. These would be the groups that advocate for calling good, honest Americans fascists, etc.
So not only was the rhetoric being financed, but it was also being perpetuated by somebody who is actively trying to agitate the American public. Interesting. Let's keep going.
And then 3, I think the most shocking thing is that we have found that more than $100 million in U.S. taxpayer funding has flowed into these funding networks, including at least $4 million to these very groups themselves, not just Antifa types, but there was an event in Atlanta called Stop Cop City. Over 60 rioters were charged with domestic terrorism. These groups received money for that from both the billionaire class as well as taxpayer money. So
not only was taxpayer funding going into those groups to the tune of $100 million, there was $4 million additional dollars going into that. Are you joking? People didn't catch this, or either didn't catch this or were in on it. Because how do you miss $100 million getting pumped into Antifa? Is it a possibility that it was injected into Antifa through NGOs? All speculation at this point until we find out the facts, but let's keep going.
One other thing, this money helps fund the decentralized crowdfunding platforms. These are ways that Antifa, the John Brown Gun Club of Elm Fork, which had links to that attack on the ICE facility, the Socialist Rifle Association, and just because they don't have LLCs or EIN numbers doesn't mean they can't get paid. Some of these funding platforms, crowdfunding platforms, are funded by this network that we call Riot Inc.
So some of these extremist groups are using this crowdfunding software and these crowdfunding mechanisms in order to get funding for their socialist agendas, for their extremist agendas, in order to start a revolution and overthrow the government and attack citizens at will. It's very troubling. And listen to what one of the journalists and information gatherers had to go through personally in order to get all this information.
Leave my house to go to work. I am violently assaulted. I've had guns pulled on me. I've been bear sprayed. I've been beaten down. I've been almost killed. So my question for all of you is, how would you feel if every time you showed up to work, masked militants tried to kill you? Because that's how we feel. That's our lived reality. And you guys go and tell us that we're liars, the riots aren't that bad, right? I've never seen any of you guys on the ground.
They're literally out there in the field putting their lives on the line in order to get this information to the Trump administration. That's dedication, and it shouldn't be frowned upon or joked about by the mainstream media.
In fact, I've never seen anybody representing the companies you work for on the ground. You guys come to us for interviews that never get published. Stop saying we're lying. We're not. We risk our lives every day to do the job that you guys are too afraid to do.
And look at this. One of those Portland anti-ICE militants have been charged with assaulting a federal agent and could face up to 8 years in prison because of it. According to this article, Jareen and Zulda Irvin, 29 of Javaris, has been accused of throwing a large object at a federal agent, striking the officer in the chest with force while trespassing on federal property. And here is a picture of him being arrested at that facility in Portland. I know that was a lot of information to soak in and a lot of updates as it pertains to what exactly we're dealing with when it comes to Antifa and the intricate criminal network that actually is the makeup of Antifa as a whole. Thank you for going on this 6-part journey with me. My name is Angel. This has been the Vasquez Report. Until next time.